All right, back in the shop. Last video I left you off with, I finished the maroon coupe car. It is over there in the paint booth. It's the same day. He's going to be picking it up, but I got it over there so it won't get all nasty when I work over here, because I'm starting back on the Camaro. I'm about to get the hood and the front fenders, radiator support off so I can work the firewall. It's got a lot of runs in it from when the other shop put that, I guess it would be epoxy primer, some sort of primer that they put on the bare metal. They ran a lot all over the car, and the firewall is pretty bad. So I got all the body work good. So when I start blocking it, it shouldn't have any issues of as far as like not meeting up with the other panel, so I can block everything off of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hood off, fenders, radiator support, front nose cone off, start sanding that firewall, get it all smoothed up with some 150 because I'm going to primer it, and then sand the rest of the car, the roof and the quarters. I've been working on the back here. Last time he came over, he decided he wanted to weld up them seams on the rear quarter to rear tail light panels. So I've done that, and now I'm just smoothing them up. So once I get the, once I get the hood and the fenders and stuff off, it'll basically be just the rear section back here, the quarters, the roof, firewall. I'll sand all of that with 150, block it all real good, put another coat of primer on it, block the fenders, the nose cone, the hood, the deck lid, the doors, 150, put another coat of primer on them, and then that should have basically everything ready to final sand and paint. I don't think I'll have to put another coat of primer on, but we'll see after I block it with 150 or 180 and see where we're at then. There, I do have some parts in here, little pieces, the wing. I need a primer also, but them are just small parts. But yeah, let's get started back on this Camaro, knock it out, try and get it out of here before I get swamped with the small work again. The next thing I'm going to try and get out next is the silver coupe car, because it's been here way too long. And I'm going to start working on the 73 Bronco also. Start replacing metal on it. It's going to have its own video, so it won't be tied in with the Camaro. Or I may have the Camaro and the Mustang tied in together, or I may separate them. Just depends on how it all works out. But enough talking. Let's get to sanding. All right, back in the shop. I left you off. I haven't done anything else with the Camaro just yet since I left you off last. I got this Chevy truck in here. It is my wife's uncle's truck. He had a little accident into a mailbox on the bed, and you can see it left a good scratch down through here. This will wipe off. This is just scrub marks of something, but you can see right there, there's a dent, little small dent, and this scratch right through here, actually in this area here, is actually a crease. So it's real slight. You can kind of see it distorting the reflection there. So that'll need a little bit of filler work. Won't take much, but got to do a little bit of filler work right here. And I mean, where it's at, there's I guess you could possibly burn the clear in without having to clear the whole bedside, but in this general area we'll have color, but I'll end up clearing the whole bedside, so I'm going to end up having to sand the whole bedside. So I'll take the tail light out, and but before I do that, I'll just start working this, getting it ready for filler, blocking it, and get it ready for primer. Try and prime it this evening and block it tomorrow. But that's all I'm doing on this truck, and I'm going to start back sanding on the Camaro today. Okay, used the stud welder, welded a few studs, pulled the dent and the crease out, feathered the edge with some 80 grit, and going to spread some filler on it now. Okay, so trying not to bore you with fixing this dent and scratch, but I primed it once already. I blocked it with 220, and then just primed it again today. I primed it the first time yesterday, but just got done putting another round of primer on it, and then it'll be ready to sand and paint. So now I'm back out here, and before I start sanding on the Camaro again, I had a tractor hood and some fenders dropped off to me by a neighbor, and it's going to need some fiberglass work right around where the exhaust is supposed to come through. So I'm going to clean this up, put some fiberglass on it. While that's drying, I'll start back sanding on the Camaro. And I also have a concrete pump coming, and I think it's a Chevy truck. The bedside on it's going to need to be fixed too. It's got a good sized dent in it. Okay, it's the next day. I came in here and sanded the Chevy truck bedside, sanded the primer, blocked it with some 320, D8'd it with 400, then 600, and then the rest of the panel is 800, because I'm only going to be putting the color in this area, and then the rest to be clear. Try and keep the color somewhere around in here. Don't get it close to the cab, just so if there's any difference that you won't be able to see it. So I'm fixing to wet the floor down because I didn't pull the truck out and pressure wash or anything. So the floor is pretty dusty where I sanded it in here. So I'm going to wet the floor down, turn the fans on, start wiping down, tacking it off, and spraying the color. Well, Winston just got done spraying that bedside, and I'm out here. I cut away the fiberglass that I put on the inside, and then trimmed out my hole where I thought it should be, put some tape from the inside, and now I grinded the cracks and everything on the top side, and I'm going to add some fiberglass to it. And I'll probably, after I clean up this, I'll probably still have to add some more fiberglass to the underside to make it as thick as everything else, so it's nice and strong. Well, it's the next day, and clear's all dry. Blend turned out good. You can see just how far I took the white, which I didn't really put much white down here at the bottom of the wheel well either, but blended out real nice. You can see some overspray towards the back where I was covering the primer up. Really none at the bottom bedside, but that'll work. I'll untape it, put the little mud flat guards and stuff on, and the tail light back in, send it on its way. With the Chevy truck all done, I'm back out here in the main garage, and yesterday evening I sanded down the fiberglass I put on the top of the hood, cut out the hole again, and I spent a lot of time blocking with 80 grit instead of using the grinder to get the fiberglass down to where I needed it, because if you go too far, you're just taking the strength away from the fiberglass. So I blocked it pretty good with and got it to where I need a little bit of filler here, but the rest of it should just get a skim coat of filler. But I'm going to flip the hood back around and put some more fiberglass on the bottom side, just so I can get it about as thick as this, which I'll grind this down because it had like a lip all the way around this factory, and I won't be putting that lip back, but I will be making sure it's nice and thick around this hole. So I'm going to put a little bit more glass on the underside of it, So when I flip it around, I have to grind some of the glass that is I put on it from the first time, and just so the new glass is stick real good. And I'm just doing that just to make sure I got good thickness all the way around. See, there's a little air pocket that was right here, but it's not too big of a deal. Just on the very edge. And I may not have opened this hole up as large as I did the first time. But yeah, I just want to make sure it's nice and thick. So before I start putting filler on the outside of here, I'm going to flip it over, put some more fiberglass on the inside. And then this front piece, I already trimmed the excess fiberglass off of it, and sanded the crack on the outside. It was real small with 80 grit. Just smeared some filler on it, and I'm going to sand it down also. So it's not going to be too much longer, and I'll be able to put some primer on this thing.